Every journey of success starts with a single, often underestimated step. It's easy to dream big, envision grand achievements, and even set lofty goals. But the truth is, all successful people know that to reach any peak, they had to start by putting one foot in front of the other, regardless of how small or insignificant that first step might seem. It's tempting to look at someone who has achieved greatness and think they arrived fully formed, but in reality, every giant leap was preceded by hundreds of small actions taken consistently. This isn't just about moving, it's about building a foundation of discipline, one that can handle the weight of the dreams we're working toward. For example, I remember my first attempt to build a habit of daily reading. I was inspired by stories of successful people who read constantly, amassing knowledge and insights. But when I tried to jump straight into reading multiple books a month, I found myself overwhelmed. I quickly felt like I was failing, so instead, I chose to start with just 10 minutes a day. A short, manageable goal. It felt almost trivial, but day after day that time added up. The habit became automatic, and soon I found myself reading not just for minutes, but for hours each week without forcing it. That small step, repeated daily, transformed into a powerful habit. The principle of starting small isn't about limiting ambition, it's about anchoring it in reality. The brain responds well to achievable steps, and each step completed builds momentum and self-confidence. We may be surrounded by stories of people who made dramatic changes, but often it's the smaller, consistent actions that make the biggest impact over time. Breaking down our goals into daily actions not only makes them more manageable, but it also removes the intimidation that large, ambitious goals can bring. In this way, small actions become the foundation of something much bigger. We often overlook these small beginnings because they don't feel as satisfying as large, bold moves. But those seemingly minor actions build the discipline needed to achieve great things. Consider the example of building physical strength. A single workout won't change your body, but over time, consistent training shapes and strengthens you. In the same way, each small effort you put toward your goal becomes a building block for your future. Starting small isn't just a stepping stone, it's a declaration of your commitment. It's proof that you're in it for the long haul, willing to show up day after day. This commitment compounds, creating a force that eventually drives you toward your goals. When we view each small step as a crucial piece of the larger puzzle, we gain the confidence to keep moving forward. Starting small isn't a sign of hesitation, it's a declaration of progress. Successful people understand this principle deeply and use it to fuel their journeys. Once we've taken that first step, the next challenge lies in balancing the dream with action. It's one thing to set our sights high, yet successful people know that to keep climbing, we must act with precision. Thinking big and acting small creates a sustainable cycle that empowers us to keep moving forward without losing sight of the ultimate goal. I once worked on a major project with a team, and while we all shared a grand vision, it was the daily focus on specific tasks that drove us toward the end. Instead of getting caught up in the massive end result, we prioritized our time and energy on precise actions, allowing us to build towards something significant without becoming overwhelmed by the scale. This approach of pairing ambition with precision is the hallmark of successful individuals. Dreaming big gives direction, but it's the calculated steps that ensure progress. It's easy to feel motivated by the big picture and want to tackle everything at once, but such an approach rarely succeeds. We must break down that vision into manageable pieces, each one contributing to the whole. This clarity of action is what keeps successful people motivated. Every step taken reinforces the idea that the dream is achievable. It's not about finishing everything in a single day. It's about the gradual accumulation of efforts that compound over time. The mindset of balancing ambition with precision also shields us from the trap of overestimating what we can do in a short time and underestimating what we can achieve with consistency over a longer period. When we aim to change everything at once, we risk burnout and frustration. But when we think big and act with precision, we acknowledge the power of incremental progress. Each precise action, however small, takes us closer to the goal. Taking these precise steps also gives us the ability to adapt and learn from our actions. It's far easier to adjust and improve on small, manageable actions than on sweeping, overly ambitious changes. As we progress, we learn what works and what doesn't, honing our approach with each step forward. In this way, we refine our path towards success, constantly improving while staying anchored in action rather than just aspiration. With each calculated step, we're building not just toward a goal, but toward the mindset that empowers us to reach many goals. By balancing big thinking with precise actions, we learn to be both the visionary and the executor. Success isn't just a series of lucky breaks or a string of achievements. It's a mindset, one that embraces challenges as opportunities to grow. Many people shy away from obstacles, fearing that setbacks signal failure. But for those who understand the nature of success, challenges are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. This mindset shift, seeing adversity as part of the process, transforms the way we experience life's difficulties. Rather than feeling overwhelmed, we begin to see each challenge as a moment to build resilience, gain insights, and sharpen our skills. I learned this firsthand when I faced a daunting project early in my career. The stakes were high, and I was far from an expert in the area required. I could have looked at this as an impossible mountain, but instead I took a breath and treated it as a lesson. Instead of shying away from the difficulty, I broke the problem down into smaller tasks and tackled each one with a focus on what I could learn from it. By the end, I hadn't just completed the project. I had gained a new set of skills and a deepened belief in my own capability. That experience taught me that challenges are rarely just obstacles. They're opportunities to level up. Successful people share a common trait. They don't fear failure. They understand that failure is a natural part of progress and often even necessary. A person who has never failed likely hasn't tried anything new or pushed themselves beyond their comfort zone. Successful individuals treat failure as feedback, a source of valuable information that guides them forward. Each setback contains lessons if we're willing to look, and those lessons refine our approach and make us stronger. This perspective enables us to approach challenges with curiosity instead of fear, treating them as valuable parts of the journey toward our goals. Another important aspect of embracing challenges is the courage to try again. There's a Japanese proverb that says, "Fall down 7 times, get up 8." Resilience lies at the heart of success, and it's built through repeated efforts, through getting back up every time life knocks you down. Whether the setback is small or large, the act of continuing builds inner strength and persistence. Each time we rise, we're strengthening our ability to push through adversity, teaching ourselves that our potential is greater than our immediate circumstances. Taking on challenges also gives us the opportunity to learn about ourselves. In moments of struggle, we're forced to confront our limits, fears, and areas for growth. This self-awareness is invaluable as it allows us to identify the habits, thoughts, or behaviors that may be holding us back. By recognizing and addressing these, we can replace them with new habits that support our growth. Facing difficulties head-on forces us to dig deep and discover strengths we didn't know we had, which in turn enhances our confidence and capabilities. When we accept that success involves challenges, we cultivate a mindset that isn't easily discouraged. Each difficulty becomes an essential part of our story, a piece of the puzzle that shapes our character. In the end, It's not the absence of challenges that makes someone successful, but their ability to see challenges as essential components of growth. The journey may not always be easy, but it's in those difficult moments that we gain the strength and skills needed to achieve lasting success. One of the most defining qualities of successful people is the way they communicate. They understand that words have power, power to inspire, influence, and even transform lives. Speaking with intention is about choosing words that are not only true, but also uplifting and impactful. When you speak with intention, you're not just filling the air with sound, you're delivering a message with purpose, confidence, and clarity. People are drawn to those who communicate this way, as they project authority and warmth simultaneously. Early in my career, I learned the impact of intentional communication during a pivotal meeting. I was nervous and had rehearsed my points, but I hadn't considered the tone or delivery. I rushed through my presentation, focused more on the words than on connecting with my audience. The response was lukewarm, and I felt that I hadn't fully conveyed my message. From then on, I made it a point not just to prepare my content, but to focus on how I was communicating. I learned to pause, maintain eye contact, and speak directly to people's interests. This shift changed everything. Instead of just talking, I was connecting, and it led to far greater success. Speaking with intention also involves knowing your audience and adapting your message to their needs. Successful communicators take time to understand who they're speaking to and what that audience values. This doesn't mean altering your beliefs or watering down your message, but rather shaping it in a way that resonates. Think about how you speak to a close friend compared to a business associate. You're likely to adjust your words, tone, and level of detail based on what will best convey your message in each context. An important part of speaking with intention is body language. Your words may say one thing, but your body speaks louder. Successful people know that eye contact, a steady voice, and open posture communicate confidence and make their message more credible. On the other hand, crossing your arms, looking down, or speaking too quickly can undermine your message. Non-verbal cues create a connection that words alone cannot. By aligning your body language with your words, you reinforce the power of your message. Intentional communication is also about knowing when to stay silent. Sometimes, the most powerful message you can send is through a thoughtful pause. When we speak out of impatience or nervousness, we often lose the clarity and strength of our message. But when we take a moment to gather our thoughts, we convey that we value what we're saying. This is why confident people aren't afraid of silence. They understand that pauses give their words time to sink in. Speaking with intention means embracing those pauses and letting them add weight to your message. Listening, too, is a crucial part of intentional communication. Successful communicators don't just speak well, they listen deeply. When we listen, we demonstrate respect and openness, creating a space where others feel valued. This builds trust, which is essential for any meaningful connection. By truly listening to others, we're able to respond more thoughtfully, making our words not just heard, but felt. When we speak with intention, we control our narrative and build authentic connections. It's not about saying more, but saying what matters. Each conversation becomes an opportunity to leave a positive impression and convey a sense of purpose. Successful people master this skill because they know it's not just what they say, but how they say it, that sets them apart. Grit is one of the most underestimated qualities in the journey to success. Talent, intelligence, and connections can all play their part, but without grit, the resilience to keep going when things get tough, success can slip out of reach. Grit is what keeps you moving forward when you're tired, frustrated, or uncertain. It's that unyielding determination to keep pushing, regardless of obstacles. This mindset is what separates those who persevere from those who give up too soon. A friend of mine had always dreamed of starting his own business. He spent years preparing, building his skill set, and saving up capital. But within the first year, he faced a series of setbacks that would have caused many people to walk away. His business was struggling financially, his work-life balance was suffering, and he was constantly doubting himself. I remember talking with him during one of his toughest weeks, and despite his exhaustion, he kept a steely determination. He told me, "I didn't come this far to give up now." That was grit in action. Eventually, he turned things around, and his business grew beyond his expectations. Had he given up, none of that success would have been possible. Grit is not just about working hard, it's about resilience and adaptability. When we're met with challenges, grit is what allows us to find a way through, rather than simply pushing harder. Often, it's not the smartest or the most talented people who succeed. It's those who can face difficulties and persist anyway. The key is to see challenges not as setbacks, but as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Successful people view grit as a process of continuous improvement, using each challenge as fuel to keep going. When something doesn't work, they don't throw in the towel. They try a new approach, adjust, and keep moving. Maintaining grit also requires a sense of purpose. Without a clear understanding of why we're doing something, it's easy to lose motivation when things get tough. People with grit often have a deep, internal reason for pursuing their goals, one that keeps them going even when the path gets rough. It's that sense of purpose that makes the struggle worth it. When you know what you're working toward and why it matters, grit becomes a natural response to any challenge in your way. Cultivating grit also involves setting smaller, achievable goals along the way. Big ambitions can be inspiring, but they can also feel overwhelming if we don't break them down. By setting smaller milestones, we create momentum and keep ourselves motivated. Each small victory fuels our determination to keep going, giving us the confidence to face the bigger challenges ahead. In this way, grit isn't just a matter of willpower. It's about consistently taking manageable steps, no matter how difficult they may seem. Lastly, grit thrives on a positive mindset. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned, but those with grit focus on what they can control and find the silver lining in each setback. They understand that every challenge has a lesson, and they use these lessons to strengthen their resolve. This perspective isn't about blind optimism, but rather a conscious choice to believe in one's own ability to overcome. Grit is built on the understanding that challenges are temporary, but the strength gained from facing them lasts a lifetime. The ability to truly listen is a powerful, yet often overlooked skill on the path to success. Listening goes far beyond simply hearing what someone says. It's about understanding, empathizing, and connecting with others on a deeper level. Successful people recognize that listening opens doors to trust, meaningful relationships, and new ideas. In a world where many people are eager to talk, those who master the art of listening stand out. I'll never forget a lesson I learned early on from a mentor who was an exceptional listener. In meetings, he rarely dominated the conversation, yet people gravitated toward him and valued his insights. One day, I asked him why he stayed so quiet during discussions. He told me, "People will tell you everything you need to know if you're willing to listen." This advice changed how I approached every interaction. I began to notice things I had previously missed. The subtle cues in people's voices, the emotions behind their words, and even the concerns they didn't voice directly. Listening made me more perceptive and allowed me to respond in ways that mattered to others. Listening is about more than just waiting for your turn to speak. It involves being fully present, free from distractions, and giving the other person your complete attention. When we listen in this way, we create an environment where people feel safe, valued, and understood. This kind of connection builds trust, an essential element in any successful relationship. People are far more likely to open up and share valuable insights when they feel genuinely heard. This trust is a currency that's invaluable in both personal and professional life. Active listening also fosters empathy. When we truly listen, we step into another person's experience, understanding their perspective and emotions. Empathy creates a bond that goes beyond words, making people feel connected and valued. This skill is particularly useful in leadership, where understanding the needs and motivations of others is crucial. Leaders who listen make better decisions because they consider diverse viewpoints and gain insights that others overlook. This ability to empathize also strengthens team morale, as people feel their voices are respected and their opinions valued. Moreover, listening gives us the chance to learn. Successful people understand that they don't have all the answers and that everyone has something valuable to share. By listening, we open ourselves up to new perspectives, ideas, and solutions that we may not have considered. Many of the world's most successful innovators attribute their breakthroughs to a moment of listening, whether it was feedback from a customer, advice from a mentor, or even an offhand comment from a colleague. Listening broadens our horizons and allows us to continuously learn and grow. In addition to building relationships and fostering empathy, listening also enhances our own communication. When we're truly listening, we're better equipped to respond thoughtfully. Our responses are more meaningful because they're grounded in understanding. Instead of generic replies, we can address the specific needs and concerns of the other person. This intentional response strengthens our influence and makes our words more impactful. People are more likely to listen to and respect someone who shows that they've listened first. Finally, listening cultivates patience, a rare and valuable trait. We live in a fast-paced world where everyone is quick to react, often without taking the time to understand. Listening slows us down, giving us time to absorb and reflect. This patience not only enhances our interactions, but also gives us the clarity to make better decisions. In this way, listening is not just a skill, but a practice of self-discipline, teaching us to approach life with a calm and open mind. Through listening, we gain more than knowledge. We gain understanding, trust, and connection. It's a skill that, once developed, transforms the way we relate to others and opens doors to countless opportunities for growth and success. The most crucial conversation we have each day isn't with our colleagues, family, or friends. It's with ourselves. The way we talk to ourselves shapes our actions, beliefs, and ultimately our potential for success. Mastering inner dialogue means guiding our thoughts intentionally, replacing self-doubt with encouragement, and building resilience in the face of challenges. Successful people know that their mindset is their most powerful tool, and they make a conscious effort to ensure that the words they say to themselves empower rather than hinder. I remember a challenging time when I was working on a major project, one that seemed impossible to complete. Every time I made progress, a new problem would pop up, and the setbacks were wearing me down. My inner dialogue became filled with doubts, questions about whether I was capable or if this project was just too much for me. Eventually, I caught myself in this cycle of negative thinking and decided to change my approach. I began to replace each doubt with a statement of resilience. Instead of, "This is too hard," I told myself, "I've faced challenges before, and I can handle this too." This simple shift didn't just make me feel better. It renewed my motivation and reminded me of my past successes. It was then that I realized our inner voice is our most consistent ally if we train it to be. Positive self-talk doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is easy. Rather, it's about recognizing obstacles and affirming our ability to overcome them. By consciously choosing to speak to ourselves with encouragement and understanding, we build mental resilience. This resilience isn't about blindly cheering ourselves on, but about fostering a balanced inner voice that acknowledges challenges while focusing on solutions. People who achieve success don't ignore their struggles. They face them head-on with a mindset that says, "I can figure this out." One effective way to master inner dialogue is by reframing. Reframing allows us to look at a situation from a different perspective, turning obstacles into opportunities. If a project fails, for instance, rather than saying, "I'm not cut out for this," we can reframe it as, "I learned a lot from this experience that will make me stronger." This shift doesn't just change our mood, it changes our approach to future challenges. We become more adaptable, learning to see setbacks as a natural part of growth rather than as reflections of our abilities. Successful people also understand that inner dialogue needs to be consistent. A single positive affirmation isn't enough to combat years of ingrained self-doubt. Developing positive self-talk is a daily practice. Some people find value in repeating affirmations or writing down encouraging statements. Others build rituals around reminding themselves of their strengths and past successes. Whatever the method, consistency is key. Just like any skill, positive self-talk becomes stronger the more we practice it. Over time, we train our minds to default to supportive and empowering thoughts. An often overlooked aspect of mastering inner dialogue is self-compassion. When we make mistakes, it's natural to feel frustrated or disappointed, but successful people know that berating themselves only compounds the problem. Instead, they approach themselves with patience and forgiveness, allowing them to learn and move forward. Self-compassion isn't about lowering standards. It's about treating oneself with the same respect we'd offer a close friend. By being kinder to ourselves, we recover faster from setbacks and maintain the motivation needed to keep going. Ultimately, mastering inner dialogue is about becoming the person we need in moments of doubt. It's about being our own motivator, coach, and supporter. When we speak to ourselves with strength and encouragement, we create a mindset that not only endures challenges, but thrives in them. Successful people know that they can't control every situation, but they can control their response to it, starting with the voice inside their head. One of the most powerful tools for achieving success is learning how to say no. While it may sound simple, setting boundaries and staying focused on what truly matters is a skill that few people master. In a world full of distractions and demands on our time, the ability to say no, especially to things that don't align with our goals, is a critical part of success. Successful individuals recognize that focus is finite. Every time they say yes to something unimportant, they're taking away from their capacity to pursue what truly matters. Saying no isn't about being rigid or unkind. It's about valuing your own goals and commitments enough to protect them. I once had a colleague who was brilliant and hardworking, but struggled to reach his goals because he was always taking on extra work. He found it hard to say no, thinking that helping others would build goodwill and open doors. Instead, he ended up overwhelmed, his own projects constantly delayed, and his energy drained. Eventually, he realized that saying yes to everyone else was a form of self-sabotage. He began to set clear boundaries, politely declining tasks that didn't align with his priorities. As a result, his productivity skyrocketed, and he gained respect from others who saw him as someone who valued his time and commitments. This was a powerful lesson for me as well, showing that success often involves making hard choices to protect our focus. Saying no allows us to preserve our energy for high-priority tasks. ensuring that we're working toward our own goals rather than getting sidetracked by the needs or agendas of others. This doesn't mean we should never help or collaborate, but rather that we should choose wisely, making sure our energy goes toward activities that align with our vision. Every successful person understands that time is limited, and if they don't guard it carefully, they risk missing out on their true purpose. This is why they view each opportunity through a filter. Does this bring me closer to my goals? If not, then it's not worth the commitment. Setting boundaries is also an exercise in self-respect. When we say no to things that don't serve us, we're acknowledging that our time and energy are valuable. This simple act of respect for ourselves changes how others perceive us as well. People begin to understand that we have priorities and that our time isn't readily available for any request. This doesn't mean they view us as unapproachable or unkind. Rather, they recognize our commitment to our own success. The respect we show for ourselves by saying no often earns the respect of others. Of course, saying no can be uncomfortable, especially if you're someone who enjoys helping others or feels guilty for turning people down. Successful people aren't immune to this discomfort, but they learn to navigate it gracefully. They understand that saying no can actually lead to more meaningful contributions in the long run. By focusing on what they do best, they're able to offer their highest value to others. Saying no to what's outside their focus isn't just about self-preservation. It's about delivering their best work where it matters most. When we learn to say no, we also develop a greater sense of clarity. With fewer distractions, we're able to focus fully on the tasks and projects that matter, achieving higher levels of performance and fulfillment. This clarity is essential for success because it allows us to channel our energy effectively, making real progress toward our goals. Saying no to unnecessary commitments keeps us aligned with our purpose, allowing us to move forward with intention rather than being pulled in every direction. Saying no is not a rejection of others. It's an affirmation of our commitment to our own path. Successful people understand this, and it's a key reason they reach their goals while others struggle with overwhelm and burnout. By mastering the skill of saying no, we empower ourselves to stay focused, productive, and ultimately successful. Communication is more than just exchanging words. It's a powerful tool that can influence, inspire, and transform. Successful people understand that how they communicate plays a crucial role in achieving their goals, building relationships, and making a lasting impact. They recognize that every interaction, whether with a single individual or a large group, is an opportunity to connect meaningfully and convey a message that resonates. Effective communicators aren't just talking, they're strategically shaping their words and delivery to reach the hearts and minds of those they interact with. I remember a time when I was leading a team on a challenging project and morale was low. We were facing tight deadlines and unexpected obstacles, and everyone was feeling the pressure. Rather than jumping straight into task assignments or delivering a motivational speech, I took a moment to acknowledge the team's hard work and listened to their frustrations. Then, I carefully communicated our goals and reminded them of why we started this project in the first place. By addressing their concerns and aligning our efforts with a shared purpose, I noticed a shift in their attitudes. It wasn't just about getting things done anymore. It was about working together toward a meaningful outcome. That experience taught me that influence isn't just about what you say, it's about how you make others feel. Successful people understand that communication involves understanding their audience's needs and emotions. They adapt their message to resonate with those they're speaking to, whether it's a client, a team member, or a room full of strangers. This requires empathy and emotional intelligence, being aware of how their words and tone affect others. When we communicate with empathy, we make people feel seen and understood, which naturally builds trust. This trust is invaluable as people are more likely to listen, engage, and support someone they feel connected to. One of the core techniques successful communicators use is clarity. They know that clarity in communication leads to clarity in action. When we communicate our goals, expectations, or instructions with precision, we eliminate misunderstandings and foster alignment. Clear communication doesn't mean using fancy words or complex language. In fact, simplicity is often more effective. The best communicators distill their message to its essence, ensuring that their audience understands and remembers what's important. Another essential aspect of effective communication is storytelling. People connect with stories more than facts or figures because stories evoke emotions and make information relatable. Successful communicators use stories to illustrate their points, inspire action, and leave a lasting impression. When we share stories, we provide a narrative that others can see themselves in, making our message more memorable and impactful. Whether it's a personal experience or a relatable example, storytelling transforms communication from mere information sharing to a meaningful exchange. Successful communicators also understand the power of non-verbal communication, body language, eye contact, and gestures that reinforce their message. Non-verbal cues often speak louder than words. They show confidence, sincerity, and commitment. A firm handshake, an open posture, or a warm smile can instantly create rapport and make people feel comfortable. Non-verbal communication isn't just about looking confident. It's about embodying the message we're conveying. When our body language aligns with our words, it enhances our credibility and builds trust with others. Timing is another key component of powerful communication. Sometimes, saying the right thing at the wrong time can fall flat. Successful people recognize when to speak and when to listen, allowing others to feel heard before they share their perspective. They know that well-timed words are more likely to have an impact. This patience in communication isn't passive. It's a deliberate strategy to make their words resonate when the moment is right. Ultimately, successful communication is about connecting, inspiring, and leading with intention. It's a skill that requires practice and self-awareness, but once mastered, it opens doors to influence, trust, and meaningful impact. In every interaction, powerful communicators understand that they are shaping not only what others think, but also how they feel, building connections that drive collaboration and success. Successful people have a unique way of dealing with failure. They see it not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone on their journey to success. While most people dread failure and avoid it at all costs, those who achieve greatness understand that failure is one of life's greatest teachers. They recognize that setbacks are part of the process, and rather than letting these experiences defeat them, they use failure as fuel for growth. Learning to turn failure into fuel is a mindset that not only keeps you moving forward, but also makes you stronger with every setback. I once heard a story about a young entrepreneur who launched his first business with high hopes. Despite his hard work and planning, the business struggled and eventually failed. He was devastated, but chose to analyze what went wrong instead of wallowing in self-pity. Over time, he came to realize that the failure had provided him with valuable insights, lessons in customer needs, financial management, and resilience that he couldn't have learned any other way. With this new understanding, he went on to build a second business, which became a massive success. That story stuck with me, reminding me that failure isn't a verdict on our potential. It's an opportunity to recalibrate and come back even stronger. One of the key ways successful people turn failure into fuel is by viewing it as feedback rather than a personal defeat. They see failure as a natural part of growth, a way to gain insight into what works and what doesn't. This shift in perspective removes the emotional weight from failure, making it easier to examine and learn from mistakes. When we treat failure as feedback, we gain a valuable tool for improvement, allowing us to identify areas that need adjustment. Each failure then becomes a step toward refining our approach, ultimately making us more prepared and capable. Successful people also use failure to build resilience. They understand that each setback is an opportunity to strengthen their capacity to endure and adapt. Resilience is not developed in times of comfort. It's cultivated in moments of struggle. Each time we face failure and choose to continue, we reinforce our mental toughness, making it easier to handle future challenges. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about coming back stronger, armed with new knowledge and determination. Every failure is a test, and those who succeed learn to pass these tests by using them to build a more robust character. Another powerful way to turn failure into fuel is by reframing it as a learning experience. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, successful people ask themselves, "What can I learn from this?" This question shifts the focus from the disappointment of failure to the value of the experience. It forces us to look for insights and lessons that can inform our future decisions. When we adopt this perspective, failure loses its power to discourage us. Instead, it becomes a catalyst for growth, a necessary step on the path to mastery. Learning to embrace failure also helps us let go of the fear of failing in the first place. Many people avoid taking risks or pursuing their goals because they're afraid of what failure might mean. But those who succeed recognize that failure is inevitable on the road to achievement. They choose to act despite the fear, understanding that avoiding failure often means missing out on opportunities. When we let go of this fear, we're free to pursue our dreams without hesitation, knowing that even if we stumble, we'll gain something valuable from the experience. Successful people also surround themselves with others who view failure as a natural part of growth. They seek mentors, friends, and colleagues who encourage them to learn from their mistakes and keep going. This support system plays a crucial role in helping them stay positive and focused, especially after setbacks. Having people who understand the value of failure allows us to process it constructively rather than letting it erode our confidence. These relationships remind us that we're not alone in our struggles and that failure is a shared part of the journey to success. Ultimately, turning failure into fuel is about developing a mindset that thrives on resilience, learning, and growth. Each setback is a building block for success, and every failure becomes a chapter in our story, a chapter that teaches us, refines us, and prepares us for the victories ahead. This mindset doesn't eliminate failure, it transforms it, turning what most people see as an end point into a powerful source of motivation. Clarity of vision is essential for anyone seeking lasting success. Knowing exactly what you're working toward provides purpose, focus, and motivation. When we have a clear vision, we're not just moving for the sake of movement. We're moving with intention, guided by a deeper sense of purpose. Successful people understand that clarity isn't just about having goals. It's about having well-defined, specific goals that shape every decision and action along the way. They treat clarity as a compass, one that ensures every step they take is aligned with their long-term aspirations. Early in my career, I struggled with this concept. I knew I wanted to be successful, but my definition of success was vague. I had no clear vision or roadmap. I would take on every opportunity that came my way, hoping it would bring me closer to success. But over time, I realized that my lack of clarity was making me feel scattered, constantly busy, yet not truly progressing toward any meaningful goal. Eventually, I took the time to define what success looked like for me, what I wanted to achieve, why it mattered, and how I would get there. This clarity transformed my approach, and for the first time I felt a sense of direction and purpose guiding each decision. Setting a clear vision means having a specific picture of what you want to achieve. It's not enough to say, "I want to be successful." A clear vision might mean defining success in terms of a particular career goal, financial milestone, personal achievement, or lifestyle. When your vision is specific, it becomes actionable. You know exactly what you're working toward, and you can break it down into concrete steps. Successful people don't rely on vague aspirations. They set precise goals that are both measurable and meaningful, enabling them to track their progress and make adjustments as needed. Clarity of vision also helps filter out distractions. When you know exactly what you're working toward, it's easier to recognize which activities, opportunities, or people align with your path and which don't. Many people get pulled off course because they're enticed by short-term gains or opportunities that don't align with their long-term goals. Successful people, on the other hand, use their clarity of vision as a guide. They evaluate every decision based on whether it brings them closer to or further from their goals. This level of focus is what allows them to stay on track, even when life presents tempting diversions. Having a clear vision also boosts motivation. When we're working towards something meaningful, we're far more likely to stay committed, even when the journey becomes difficult. Clarity fuels our passion, reminding us of why we started and what's waiting for us at the end. It's much easier to put in the necessary effort when we know the purpose behind it. This clarity provides resilience, helping us push through setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt, because we know that each obstacle is simply part of the path to achieving our vision. Visualizing the end result is another powerful tool that helps reinforce clarity. Many successful people use visualization techniques to picture themselves achieving their goals, immersing themselves in the feeling of success. This mental rehearsal strengthens their resolve, making the vision feel real and attainable. When we visualize our success, we're not just daydreaming, we're training our minds to believe in our goals. This belief is crucial because it strengthens our confidence and reinforces our commitment to taking the necessary actions. Clarity of vision also requires flexibility. Sometimes, as we progress, our vision may evolve. Successful people understand that clarity doesn't mean being rigid. It means being clear about the destination while remaining adaptable about the path. They're willing to pivot or adjust their approach when needed, but they never lose sight of the ultimate goal. This balance of clarity and flexibility allows them to stay true to their vision while remaining open to new opportunities and ideas. In the end, clarity is the foundation upon which successful people build their lives. It informs their choices, energizes their actions, and sustains their motivation. By defining what they want, why they want it, and how they'll achieve it, they set themselves up for purposeful and sustained success. With clarity as their guide, they navigate life with intention, creating a path that leads to a life filled with meaning and achievement. Consistency is the secret behind most great achievements. Small actions, repeated over time, lead to big results. Successful people understand that success isn't achieved through a single grand effort, but rather through the accumulation of consistent, daily actions that move them closer to their goals. They know that it's not about doing something once in a while, but about showing up day after day, regardless of how they feel. In the world of high achievers, consistency isn't just a habit. It's a discipline that transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. I once knew someone who wanted to improve his fitness. He'd sign up for gym memberships, buy the best workout gear, and research the latest fitness trends. But his enthusiasm was always short-lived. He'd go all in for a week, sometimes two, then gradually lose interest and stop. Eventually, he decided to take a different approach. Instead of trying to overhaul his entire routine, he committed to doing just 10 minutes of exercise every day, no matter what. At first, it felt too simple, almost trivial. But day by day, those 10 minutes added up. Soon, he found himself looking forward to his workouts and even increasing their duration. Within months, he had built a consistent fitness routine that felt natural, and he began seeing the results he'd always wanted. His story taught me a valuable lesson. Consistency, not intensity, is what drives long-term success. Consistency is powerful because it builds momentum. Each time we follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, we reinforce our belief in our ability to achieve our goals. This momentum makes it easier to stay on track and pushes us to keep going, even when motivation wanes. Successful people know that motivation comes and goes, but consistency builds a foundation that endures. By establishing a routine, they minimize the need to rely on motivation, making progress a natural part of their day. Creating consistency also requires breaking down larger goals into manageable actions. When goals feel overwhelming, it's tempting to procrastinate or avoid them altogether. But when we approach these goals in small, achievable steps, we make progress without feeling overburdened. Successful people break their goals down into daily actions, focusing on what they can do right now rather than getting lost in the enormity of the end goal. This approach not only keeps them consistent, but also prevents burnout, making it sustainable in the long run. A significant part of building consistency is developing daily habits that align with your goals. Habits automate progress, making it easier to stay consistent because we're no longer expending mental energy deciding whether or not to take action. When we turn productive behaviors into habits, they become part of our routine, reducing resistance and making progress feel effortless. Successful people are intentional about their habits, crafting routines that support their goals, whether it's a morning ritual that sets the tone for the day or a nightly routine that reinforces rest and reflection. Consistency also teaches discipline. There will always be days when we don't feel like putting in the effort, when excuses and distractions seem overwhelming. But those who succeed have trained themselves to push through these moments, understanding that consistency requires discipline, not just motivation. They show up on the tough days, knowing that each small action is contributing to the bigger picture. This discipline is what separates those who make steady progress from those who remain stuck in cycles of sporadic effort. Tracking progress is another effective tool for maintaining consistency. Successful people often use journals, checklists, or apps to monitor their efforts, providing a clear record of their commitment. Tracking not only keeps them accountable, but also allows them to see tangible evidence of their progress. Even on days when results feel minimal, having a record of consistent action provides encouragement and motivation to keep going. This habit of tracking reinforces the sense that each step, no matter how small, is moving them closer to their goals. Consistency, ultimately, is about building trust with oneself. Each time we follow through on a commitment, we strengthen our self-belief and reinforce the idea that we are capable of achieving what we set out to do. This trust is essential for success because it builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of purpose. Over time, consistency becomes a part of who we are, transforming our approach to every goal and challenge we face. By committing to consistent action, we not only progress toward our goals, but also create a life of purpose and reliability, paving the way for lasting success. Self-discipline is the backbone of long-term success. While motivation may give us a boost, it's self-discipline that keeps us moving forward, especially when the initial excitement fades. Successful people understand that discipline is what sustains momentum and creates consistency in actions. even on days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Self-discipline is the ability to make decisions that align with our long-term goals, even if they're uncomfortable or inconvenient in the moment. It's this commitment to doing what needs to be done, regardless of mood or circumstances, that drives real progress. One of the most profound lessons I learned about self-discipline came from a colleague who was working toward an advanced certification in his field. Balancing his job, family commitments and studying wasn't easy, and there were plenty of times he felt exhausted. But every evening he would carve out an hour to study, even if it meant sacrificing leisure or sleep. I once asked him how he managed to keep going when he was so drained, and he replied, "I'm not doing it because I feel like it. I'm doing it because it will get me where I want to be." That simple statement spoke volumes. He wasn't relying on motivation. He was driven by a disciplined commitment to his future. Sure enough, he achieved his certification, and that discipline has served him well in every aspect of his life since. Building self-discipline starts with setting clear, specific goals. Without a defined target, discipline has no direction. Successful people know exactly what they're working toward, which makes it easier to make disciplined choices that align with those goals. When the goal is clear, decisions become more straightforward. For example, if one's goal is to save a certain amount of money, it's easier to resist impulsive purchases because they understand how each decision affects their progress. This clarity simplifies the process of self-discipline, allowing us to act in alignment with our priorities. Another critical element of self-discipline is learning to resist short-term temptations for long-term rewards. In a world where instant gratification is readily available, delaying immediate pleasure can feel challenging. Successful people, however, understand the power of delayed gratification. They know that sacrificing short-term comforts or desires is a small price to pay for the bigger reward awaiting them. Whether it's skipping a night out to work on a side project or choosing a salad over fast food, these decisions add up over time. Self-discipline is about having the foresight to recognize the cumulative power of small sacrifices. Self-discipline also involves establishing routines that support our goals. Routines remove the need to make decisions each day, reducing the chance of choosing what's easy over what's necessary. For instance, someone who has a disciplined morning routine is more likely to start their day productively, setting the tone for the hours that follow. By embedding disciplined actions into daily routines, successful people create habits that bring them closer to their goals without the mental struggle of deciding each time. These routines make self-discipline feel natural, almost automatic, creating a structure that supports continuous progress. One of the biggest challenges to self-discipline is emotional control. Emotions can easily derail discipline if we let them take over, leading us to act based on temporary feelings rather than long-term goals. Those who succeed learn to manage their emotions, not by suppressing them, but by acknowledging and moving forward regardless. They understand that emotions like frustration, boredom, or even fear are temporary. By committing to disciplined actions despite how they feel, they train themselves to act consistently, building resilience and a stronger sense of purpose. Accountability is another powerful tool for strengthening self-discipline. Many successful people share their goals with a mentor, coach, or friend who holds them accountable. This added layer of responsibility makes it harder to abandon commitments, knowing that someone else is watching their progress. Accountability keeps them focused, providing external motivation to stay disciplined even on difficult days. Over time, this external accountability transforms into internal accountability as discipline becomes a part of their identity. Ultimately, self-discipline is about making choices that support our best self, day in and day out. It's the quiet commitment that doesn't rely on excitement or applause, but simply shows up consistently. Through self-discipline, we gain control over our actions, build trust with ourselves, and steadily progress toward our goals. For successful people, discipline isn't a restriction. It's a pathway to freedom, a freedom that allows them to create the life they desire, step by step, with unwavering commitment. Empathy is a cornerstone of effective leadership and success, enabling us to connect with others, understand their perspectives, and build lasting relationships. Successful people recognize that empathy isn't just a soft skill. It's a powerful tool that opens doors and fosters loyalty and trust. Empathy allows us to tune in to what others are experiencing, making us better communicators, collaborators, and leaders. In a world that often emphasizes individual achievement, empathy reminds us that we achieve more together than we do alone. I learned the importance of empathy from a manager I once worked with, who had a remarkable ability to connect with people. In every meeting, he would take a few minutes to check in with each team member, asking about their lives, their stress levels, or any challenges they were facing. It wasn't just small talk. He was genuinely interested in understanding where we were coming from. This simple act of empathy created an atmosphere of openness and trust. Because we felt seen and heard, we were more motivated and engaged. That manager taught me that empathy isn't just about understanding someone else's feelings. It's about creating a space where people feel valued and supported, which naturally leads to a more productive and committed team. Empathy begins with listening, truly listening. Many people listen to respond rather than to understand. When we listen with empathy, we're not just hearing words, we're picking up on tone, body language, and unspoken emotions. Empathetic listening requires patience and a willingness to set aside our own agenda to fully understand another person's experience. Successful people practice this form of listening because it allows them to see situations from multiple angles, leading to better decision-making and deeper relationships. This depth of understanding is invaluable in both personal and professional contexts, as it helps avoid misunderstandings and create stronger, more supportive connections. Empathy also involves recognizing that everyone has a unique story and set of challenges. Successful people understand that the people they interact with, be it colleagues, friends, or clients, are influenced by factors beyond what's visible. They acknowledge that behavior is often shaped by underlying struggles, motivations, or past experiences. This understanding prevents judgment and fosters patience, allowing us to approach each person with kindness and compassion. When we empathize with others' situations, we become more effective communicators, responding in ways that are supportive rather than dismissive. In addition to improving relationships, empathy also enhances problem-solving skills. When we empathize with others, we gain insight into their needs, frustrations, and motivations, which helps us develop solutions that truly address their concerns. This is particularly valuable in business, where understanding a client or customer's perspective can be the difference between a missed opportunity and a lasting relationship. Successful people use empathy as a tool to anticipate needs and provide meaningful solutions, setting themselves apart as thoughtful, client-centered professionals. Empathy also requires vulnerability. To truly connect with others, we must be willing to lower our defenses and share a part of ourselves. Successful people are unafraid to express empathy openly, even if it makes them feel vulnerable. This willingness to connect on a human level fosters trust, as it shows others that they're dealing with someone genuine and understanding. Leaders who practice empathy create environments where people feel safe to express their ideas, concerns, and feelings without fear of judgment, which ultimately fosters innovation and productivity. Another aspect of empathy is the ability to put aside personal biases. It's easy to see the world through our own lens, but empathy challenges us to step outside of ourselves and see things from another's viewpoint. This openness allows us to broaden our perspective, embrace diversity, and appreciate the strengths and challenges that others bring to the table. Successful people value this diversity of thought, knowing it enhances their own understanding and leads to better outcomes. They understand that empathy doesn't require agreement, it requires understanding and respect for someone else's experience. In the end, empathy isn't just about making others feel good, it's a strategic advantage. By genuinely connecting with others, we create a network of trust and support that makes us stronger and more resilient. Empathy is the glue that holds relationships together, making it an invaluable asset on the road to success. Through empathy, we learn to lead with both heart and mind, creating a path that not only elevates us, but also those around us. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools successful people use to achieve their goals. The act of visualizing success, seeing oneself accomplishing goals and experiencing the results, helps to create a mental roadmap that brings dreams closer to reality. Visualization isn't just wishful thinking, it's a practice that strengthens our belief in what's possible, focusing the mind on the steps needed to achieve our ambitions. Successful individuals use visualization to turn vague aspirations into specific, tangible outcomes, harnessing the power of the mind to shape their future. The first time I tried visualization was when I was preparing for a major presentation. I was nervous, doubting my ability to deliver a clear and impactful message. Instead of letting anxiety take over, I decided to spend time each day visualizing myself in the room, confidently presenting to the audience, seeing them engaged, and hearing positive feedback afterward. By the time the day of the presentation arrived, I felt like I had already succeeded in my mind. My nerves were replaced by a sense of familiarity, as if I had rehearsed this moment many times before. Visualization had turned my fear into confidence, allowing me to perform at my best. That experience taught me that the mind is incredibly powerful, capable of transforming thoughts into action through focused intent. Successful people use visualization to prepare for challenges, anticipate outcomes, and reinforce their goals. By vividly imagining the experience of achieving a goal, we train our brains to recognize and seize opportunities that align with our vision. Neuroscience has shown that the brain doesn't distinguish much between a vividly imagined event and a real one. When we visualize, we're essentially preparing our minds to experience and respond to success. This mental preparation builds confidence and resilience, enabling us to take action with greater certainty and focus. One key to effective visualization is specificity. It's not enough to simply picture success in broad strokes. We need to get as detailed as possible. For example, if someone's goal is to improve their public speaking, they might visualize not only the act of speaking, but also the environment, the audience's reactions, and their own body language. By focusing on specifics, they create a mental blueprint that makes the goal feel tangible and achievable. Successful people break down their visions into clear steps, mentally rehearsing each one to solidify their belief in their ability to succeed. Visualization also helps with goal setting. When we visualize, we often become more aware of the necessary steps to reach our objectives. This clarity enables us to set realistic goals, make informed decisions, and take purposeful action. The act of visualizing success keeps us focused on what truly matters, aligning our thoughts and actions with our desired outcomes. Each time we visualize, we remind ourselves of our commitment, reinforcing the motivation needed to stay on track. Visualization isn't just about picturing the end result. It's about envisioning the journey, including the challenges and obstacles along the way. Successful people use visualization to mentally prepare for setbacks, imagining how they'll respond when things don't go as planned. This mental rehearsal builds resilience as it primes the mind to handle adversity with composure. When difficulties arise, they're less likely to be caught off guard because they've already visualized their response. This practice of preparing for challenges strengthens their resolve, making them more adaptable and prepared to overcome obstacles. Another benefit of visualization is that it enhances focus. When we consistently visualize our goals, we train our minds to filter out distractions and stay aligned with our vision. Visualization acts as a compass, keeping us on course even when faced with tempting diversions. For example, an athlete visualizing a successful race will be less likely to skip training because they're focused on the image of crossing the finish line. This clarity of focus is a powerful advantage, as it reduces procrastination and increases our determination to take consistent action. Visualization also strengthens self-belief. When we see ourselves achieving our goals repeatedly in our minds, we start to internalize the belief that we're capable of making it happen. This belief is essential for success because it propels us to act with confidence. Each visualization reinforces our potential, making success feel not just possible, but inevitable. For successful people, visualization is a daily practice that builds their confidence and conviction, turning their dreams into reality through the power of belief. Ultimately, visualization is a tool that helps us bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be. By creating a vivid mental image of success, we align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our goals. Successful people know that the journey to achievement begins in the mind, and by visualizing their future, they set the stage for it to unfold in reality. Visualization empowers us to create a life by design, harnessing the full potential of our minds to shape the path to success. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and successful people understand the importance of managing it wisely. Time management is not just about working harder or squeezing more into each day. It's about prioritizing tasks that truly matter, eliminating distractions, and making intentional choices to focus on what brings us closer to our goals. In a world where demands on our time are constant, mastering time management is essential for anyone striving for success. By maximizing how we spend each moment, we create a foundation that supports consistent progress, productivity, and well-being. I once struggled with time management, juggling multiple projects and feeling perpetually overwhelmed. I would spend my days responding to emails, attending meetings, and handling various tasks without making real progress toward my goals. It wasn't until I started prioritizing my most impactful tasks that I began to see a difference. I adopted a method called time blocking, where I dedicated specific periods to focused work without interruptions. I scheduled blocks for creative work, problem solving, and even relaxation. This structured approach changed everything. Not only did I become more productive, but I also felt a greater sense of control over my time and energy. This experience taught me that time management isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Successful people treat their time as a limited resource, making deliberate choices about how they spend it. One of the most effective strategies they use is setting clear priorities. They understand that not all tasks are equally important, and they focus their efforts on high-impact activities that drive them closer to their goals. By identifying their top priorities each day, they ensure that their time and energy are invested where it truly counts. This focus on priorities helps them avoid getting caught up in unimportant tasks or distractions, allowing them to make meaningful progress even when their schedules are demanding. Another key to time management is learning to say no. Successful people recognize that saying yes to everything dilutes their focus and drains their energy. They are selective with their commitments, choosing only those that align with their goals and values. This doesn't mean they're unwilling to help others, but rather that they understand the importance of protecting their time. Saying no isn't just about preserving energy. It's about creating space for the activities that have the most significant impact on their lives and careers. By setting boundaries, they maintain control over their schedules and avoid the trap of constant busyness without productivity. Time management also involves minimizing distractions. We live in an era of constant notifications, messages, and interruptions, making it easy to lose focus. Successful people create environments that support concentration, whether that means turning off notifications, setting specific times for checking emails, or creating a dedicated workspace. These small adjustments help them stay focused on the task at hand, ensuring that their time is spent productively rather than scattered across multiple distractions. Minimizing distractions isn't just about increasing productivity. It's about honoring the value of each moment and making the most of every hour. The practice of delegating is another essential component of effective time management. Successful people recognize that they can't do everything themselves, so they delegate tasks that can be handled by others. Delegation frees up time for them to focus on high-value activities that require their unique skills and expertise. By entrusting certain responsibilities to others, they optimize their efficiency and maximize the impact of their own efforts. This strategy not only improves productivity, but also strengthens their teams, as delegation empowers others and allows them to develop their own skills. Successful time management also involves setting aside time for rest and renewal. High achievers know that working non-stop leads to burnout, so they prioritize downtime to recharge their energy. They treat rest as an essential part of productivity, understanding that their focus and creativity are at their best when they're well rested. Whether it's a few minutes of mindfulness, a workout, or spending time with loved ones, these moments of rest enhance their overall effectiveness. By creating a balanced schedule that includes both work and rejuvenation, they maintain the stamina needed for sustained success. Finally, successful people review and adjust their schedules regularly. They recognize that priorities can shift and that flexibility is crucial for staying aligned with their goals. By evaluating their time management practices, they identify areas for improvement, adjust their approach, and refine their routines. This commitment to continuous improvement ensures that they remain adaptable and responsive to changing circumstances, allowing them to stay on track and make the most of their time. In the end, time management is about making intentional choices that reflect our values and goals. Successful people don't let time slip by. They take ownership of each moment, crafting a life that aligns with their vision. By prioritizing, setting boundaries, and focusing on what matters, they turn time into a powerful tool for achievement. Through effective time management, we can all create a life of purpose and productivity, one moment at a time. Adaptability is a crucial quality that allows successful people to thrive in the face of change. The world is constantly evolving, and the ability to adjust to new circumstances, pivot when needed, and embrace unexpected challenges is a defining trait of those who achieve lasting success. Adaptability isn't about abandoning goals. It's about finding flexible paths to achieve them, learning from each experience, and staying resilient. Successful people understand that rigidity in approach can hinder progress, while adaptability keeps them open to new ideas, opportunities, and ways of thinking. I remember a time when I had mapped out an ambitious plan for a project. Everything seemed meticulously thought out, and I was confident in the steps I needed to take. However, midway through, an unexpected obstacle appeared. A key resource became unavailable, throwing my plans off course. At first, I was frustrated, feeling as though all my efforts had been wasted. But then I realized I had a choice. I could either give up on my goal or adapt my approach. I chose the latter, adjusting my strategy and finding alternative resources. Ultimately, this challenge taught me the importance of flexibility. Not only did I complete the project, but I gained valuable skills and insights that made me more resilient. Successful people view change as an opportunity rather than a setback. They know that life rarely goes according to plan, and they prepare themselves to respond constructively when things don't go as expected. Instead of fixating on the original plan, they focus on the end goal, willing to adjust their actions as needed. This perspective allows them to remain calm and resourceful in the face of change. They understand that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn something new, refine their approach, and grow stronger. Adaptability in this way isn't just a survival skill, it's a tool for innovation and growth. A major aspect of adaptability is the willingness to let go of perfectionism. People who are too rigid in their expectations often struggle when things don't go precisely as planned. Successful individuals, however, understand that perfection is rarely achievable and that flexibility is often more valuable than perfection. They're willing to try new methods, accept that mistakes will happen, and learn from them rather than fearing failure. By letting go of perfection, they give themselves the freedom to experiment, adapt, and keep moving forward, even in uncertain situations. Adaptable people also have a strong sense of self-awareness. They understand their strengths and limitations, which helps them make informed decisions when change arises. Self-awareness allows them to recognize when they need to adjust their approach or seek help from others. This humility and openness to feedback create a foundation for growth, as they're not afraid to evolve based on what the situation requires. Successful people treat feedback and setbacks as learning experiences rather than as personal failures, using them to become more agile and effective. Adaptability also fosters creativity. When plans go awry, we're forced to think outside the box, looking for solutions that we might not have considered initially. Successful people embrace this creative aspect of adaptability, viewing each challenge as a chance to innovate. By staying open to new ideas and methods, they remain at the forefront of their fields, often discovering unique solutions that give them a competitive edge. They understand that creativity is often born out of necessity, and adaptability is the key to unlocking it. Another important aspect of adaptability is resilience. Changing course or adjusting to unexpected events requires mental toughness. Resilient people bounce back from setbacks quickly, allowing them to move forward without getting stuck in frustration or self-doubt. They acknowledge difficulties without letting them define their outlook, maintaining a forward-focused mindset that keeps them on track. Resilience enables them to handle change with grace, transforming challenges into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. This mental toughness is essential for sustaining success in a world where unpredictability is the norm. Adaptable individuals also know when to seek support. They recognize that adaptability doesn't mean going it alone, it means knowing when to lean on others. By building a strong support network, they give themselves access to diverse perspectives and solutions. They understand that the insights and expertise of others can provide new ways of navigating challenges, making adaptation smoother and often more effective. This openness to collaboration enhances their adaptability and enriches their journey. Ultimately, adaptability is about maintaining a growth mindset, a belief that we can continually improve, learn, and adjust no matter what we face. Successful people cultivate this mindset, knowing that change is inevitable and that flexibility allows them to thrive in the face of uncertainty. Through adaptability, they embrace the journey, allowing it to shape and strengthen them, knowing that every twist and turn is part of the path to success. In the end, adaptability is a powerful ally, enabling us to meet each challenge with resilience, creativity, and the confidence to keep moving forward. One of the most underrated secrets to success is gratitude. While ambition and drive propel us forward, gratitude keeps us grounded, enhancing our perspective and increasing our resilience. Successful people understand that gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a mindset that shapes how they see themselves, their achievements, and the people around them. By embracing gratitude, they build a foundation of positivity that supports their journey, reminding them of their progress and fueling their motivation. I once worked with a mentor who practiced gratitude every day, regardless of how his day had gone. In meetings, he would often start by acknowledging something he appreciated about each team member, no matter how small the contribution. Initially, I didn't understand why he did this, but over time, I noticed how it changed the atmosphere in our team. People felt valued and recognized, which increased trust and encouraged us to give our best. My mentor taught me that gratitude is more than just polite acknowledgement. It's a way to build connections, inspire commitment, and remind ourselves of what truly matters. This practice made me realize that gratitude isn't just about appreciating others. It's a way of nurturing our own sense of fulfillment. Gratitude provides a counterbalance to the challenges we face on the path to success. When we're focused on ambitious goals, it's easy to become consumed by what we still need to accomplish, overlooking what we've already achieved. Successful people take time to recognize their progress and the support they've received along the way. By celebrating these milestones, they stay motivated and avoid burnout, maintaining a sense of satisfaction even as they continue to strive for more. Gratitude grounds them, reminding them that every small victory is a part of the larger journey. Practicing gratitude also helps shift our perspective during setbacks. When things don't go as planned, gratitude allows us to focus on the lessons learned rather than dwelling on what went wrong. This positive outlook transforms setbacks into opportunities for growth, making it easier to stay resilient and keep moving forward. Successful people understand that gratitude isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about choosing to see the value in every experience, even the difficult ones. This perspective fosters a growth mindset, helping them find purpose in every stage of their journey. Another powerful effect of gratitude is its ability to enhance relationships. When we express genuine appreciation for others, we create bonds of trust and mutual respect. Successful people know that their achievements are often supported by others, whether through mentorship, collaboration, or encouragement. By showing gratitude to those who contribute to their journey, they strengthen their relationships and create a network of support. This sense of reciprocity builds loyalty and fosters a positive environment where everyone feels valued. People are naturally drawn to those who recognize and appreciate their contributions, which makes gratitude a magnet for supportive relationships. Gratitude also fuels emotional resilience. Life is filled with ups and downs, and staying emotionally strong during challenging times is essential. When we practice gratitude regularly, we're reminded of the good in our lives, even when things aren't going our way. This habit provides an emotional anchor, helping us maintain a positive outlook despite temporary setbacks. Successful people rely on gratitude to keep their spirits up, knowing that this inner strength is crucial for enduring the journey. By focusing on what they have rather than what they lack, they build an emotional reservoir that carries them through tough times. In addition to its emotional benefits, Gratitude enhances physical and mental well-being. Studies have shown that gratitude can lower stress, improve sleep, and increase happiness. Successful people know that their health and well-being are fundamental to achieving their goals, and gratitude is a simple yet powerful tool for maintaining balance. By taking moments each day to reflect on what they're thankful for, they create a positive cycle that boosts their energy, improves their focus, and enhances their overall quality of life. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good practice. It's a way to support our physical and mental resilience, enabling us to stay strong as we pursue our ambitions. Finally, gratitude keeps us connected to our purpose. It's easy to get lost in the pursuit of success, constantly pushing for the next milestone or achievement. But gratitude brings us back to the present, reminding us of the why behind our actions. Successful people use gratitude to stay aligned with their values and intentions, making sure that each step they take resonates with their deeper goals. This practice keeps them authentic and grounded, ensuring that their journey remains meaningful. In the end, gratitude is a choice, one that transforms how we experience life and success. By appreciating what we have, who we are, and who supports us, we create a foundation of positivity and strength. For successful people, gratitude isn't just a habit. It's a way of life that keeps them inspired, connected, and resilient. Through gratitude, we learn to see success not only as an outcome, but as a journey filled with moments worth cherishing. Mastering focus is a vital skill that distinguishes successful people from the rest. In a world full of constant distractions and competing priorities, the ability to maintain deep focus on meaningful tasks allows for higher productivity, more creativity, and faster progress toward goals. Successful individuals recognize that focus is not just about concentrating on work. It's about directing their attention intentionally, eliminating unnecessary distractions, and immersing themselves fully in whatever they are pursuing. Through disciplined focus, they accomplish more with less effort, achieving a quality of work that propels them closer to their aspirations. Early in my career, I struggled with maintaining focus. I would start projects with enthusiasm, only to find myself constantly switching tasks, checking emails, and getting pulled in different directions. Progress was slow, and my work quality suffered. One day, a mentor shared a simple but powerful piece of advice. Choose one thing and give it your full attention until it's done. It sounded obvious, yet applying it required practice and discipline. I began dedicating uninterrupted blocks of time to single tasks, gradually building the habit of focused work. The impact was profound. I completed projects more efficiently and noticed a significant improvement in my productivity. That experience taught me that focus isn't just about willpower, it's about creating habits and environments that support concentrated effort. Successful people understand that focus is finite, so they prioritize their tasks carefully. They don't try to do everything at once. Instead, they identify their most critical tasks, those that yield the greatest results, and channel their energy into completing them. This approach, often called the 80-20 rule, posits that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. By identifying and focusing on these high-impact activities, they maximize their productivity without spreading themselves thin. This focus on essentials allows them to accomplish more in less time, reducing stress and increasing the quality of their work. One of the most effective ways to maintain focus is through time blocking. Successful people set aside specific blocks of time for focused work, free from interruptions. During these blocks, they eliminate distractions by silencing notifications, closing unrelated tabs, and creating a space where they can work undisturbed. This strategy allows them to enter a state of flow, where they become fully absorbed in their tasks, achieving peak productivity. Time blocking doesn't just help them accomplish more, it creates a rhythm that makes deep focus a natural part of their day. In addition to managing external distractions, successful people also practice mental discipline to maintain focus. They understand that staying focused requires managing their thoughts and redirecting their attention when it starts to wander. Techniques like mindfulness and deep breathing help them stay present, reducing the impact of mental distractions. By training their minds to stay focused on the task at hand, they increase their ability to concentrate, making it easier to work with clarity and purpose. This mental discipline helps them remain calm and centered, even when the demands on their attention are high. Setting boundaries is another crucial aspect of mastering focus. Successful people are intentional about saying no to activities that don't align with their goals. They recognize that every commitment or distraction comes at the cost of their focus. By setting boundaries, they protect their time and attention, dedicating it to what truly matters. Whether it's turning down unnecessary meetings, limiting social media use, or blocking out time for focused work, these boundaries keep their priorities front and center, helping them achieve their goals faster. Successful individuals also understand the importance of rest in maintaining focus. Focus is a mental muscle, and just like any other muscle, it needs recovery time. They take regular breaks to recharge, recognizing that pushing through without rest leads to burnout and diminished productivity. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, working in focused intervals followed by short breaks, help them sustain their concentration and energy throughout the day. These breaks are not distractions, but strategic pauses that enhance their ability to focus deeply when they return to their work. Regular reflection and adjustment are also essential to maintaining focus. Successful people periodically evaluate their habits, tools, and routines to ensure they are still serving their goals. They look at what's working, what's not, and make changes as needed to improve their focus. This ongoing refinement keeps them adaptive and responsive to new challenges, enabling them to stay on track no matter what obstacles arise. Ultimately, mastering focus is about cultivating an environment and mindset that supports deep, meaningful work. It's about choosing what matters, eliminating what doesn't, and committing to practices that strengthen concentration. Successful people treat their focus as a valuable resource, protecting it fiercely and using it intentionally to drive their success. Through disciplined focus, they accomplish their goals with greater efficiency, clarity, and purpose, building a life where each action contributes to a bigger vision. Self-belief is the foundation upon which all success is built. While skills, resources, and opportunities play important roles, none of them matter if we don't believe in our ability to achieve our goals. Successful people understand that self-belief isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a deep, unwavering confidence in their own worth and potential. This conviction drives them forward, even when faced with setbacks, uncertainty, or criticism. Self-belief enables them to take risks, make bold decisions, and persist through challenges, knowing that they have what it takes to succeed. Early in my journey, I struggled with self-doubt, especially when stepping into new roles or tackling unfamiliar projects. I remember a time when I almost turned down an opportunity because I doubted my ability to perform. But a mentor advised me to focus not on what I didn't know, but on what I could learn. They reminded me that everyone starts somewhere and that growth comes from pushing through discomfort. Taking that advice to heart, I accepted the role, and through dedication and effort, I proved to myself that I was more capable than I initially believed. That experience taught me that self-belief doesn't require knowing everything in advance. It requires trusting that we can learn, adapt, and grow along the way. Self-belief allows successful people to pursue their goals with confidence. When we believe in ourselves, we're more likely to take action, even when the path ahead isn't clear. This willingness to act transforms ideas into realities and dreams into achievements. Successful people know that self-belief doesn't guarantee success, but it does ensure that they'll keep going until they reach it. They don't wait for perfect conditions or absolute certainty. Instead, they trust their ability to navigate challenges as they arise, knowing that each step forward builds their competence and resilience. One way to build self-belief is by recognizing and celebrating small victories along the way. Successful people don't only focus on the big wins, they take time to acknowledge each milestone, knowing that each achievement reinforces their confidence. By celebrating these moments, they remind themselves of their progress and potential, creating a cycle of positive reinforcement. This practice builds a bank of evidence that they can draw from during challenging times, providing a reminder of their past successes and the strength they have cultivated over time. Another essential aspect of self-belief is managing self-talk. Successful people are intentional about the words they use when speaking to themselves. They understand that the mind can be our greatest ally or our biggest obstacle, depending on how we treat it. When self-doubt arises, they counter it with affirmations, focusing on their strengths and reminding themselves of their goals. This positive self-talk isn't about ignoring weaknesses, but about reinforcing their commitment to improvement. By shaping their inner dialogue, they build a foundation of self-belief that fuels their ambition and keeps them resilient through setbacks. Self-belief also involves embracing failure as part of the growth process. Those who succeed recognize that setbacks don't define their worth or potential. Instead of viewing failure as a verdict on their abilities, they see it as an opportunity to learn and refine their approach. Each experience, good or bad, contributes to their growth, reinforcing the idea that they are always capable of becoming better. This mindset frees them from the fear of failure, allowing them to take risks and explore new possibilities without being held back by self-doubt. Surrounding themselves with positive influences is another way successful people nurture self-belief. They seek out mentors, peers and friends who support and encourage them, providing constructive feedback and celebrating their progress. This network of positive reinforcement helps them stay motivated and grounded, especially during challenging times. By choosing relationships that uplift rather than discourage, they build an environment that supports their confidence and fuels their self-belief. Finally, successful people practice gratitude as a way to enhance self-belief. By regularly reflecting on their achievements, the skills they've developed, and the challenges they've overcome, they cultivate a sense of appreciation for their journey. Gratitude for one's own progress strengthens the belief in one's ability to continue growing and achieving. This gratitude grounds them, helping them see their worth and value beyond external success or failures. Self-belief is the bedrock of all meaningful achievements. It's what allows us to step outside our comfort zones, take on new challenges, and turn aspirations into reality. Successful people build their lives on a foundation of self-belief, treating each experience as proof of their resilience and capacity to achieve. With self-belief as their guide, they move forward with courage, creating a life that reflects their highest potential and making a lasting impact in their own lives and the lives of others. Success isn't a destination. It's a journey shaped by each choice we make, each habit we build, and every challenge we face. As you walk this path, remember the core principles that drive achievement: resilience, focus, gratitude, self-belief, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Embrace the setbacks as stepping stones, celebrate the small wins, and keep moving forward with intention. Your journey is unique, And by applying these lessons, you're not just achieving goals, you're creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and lasting success.